Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at a legend run for this season of the Go Battle League. This is a gameplay from JoaoVictor, who actually sent me their own footage, which is really cool to see. Because, yeah, here we actually see how they play every matchup and we can commentate above that, which is going to be super interesting. We're going to have a very interesting team here for a legend run. This is most likely the second legend in the world, which is also really cool. And we're going to have a team here which only has a 1 XL Pokemon, which is going to be the Tentacruel. But other than this, like a lot of spicier Pokemon. We're going to have Focus Blast, Shadow variant of the Ampharos here. We're going to have the Shadow Dragonite in the lead. And yeah, the Blizzard variant actually of the Tentacruel in the back, which is really cool to see. Very spicy team, not as bulky-ish, not all XL or whatever. And they hit Legend with this one, and we can take a look at this one today. Of course, the link of their Twitter is in the description. As always, when I feature someone else's team or actual footage here, where I know their Twitter. But here, we're going to see a perfect matchup at the end with the Tentacruel against a Tapu Fini. So, let's take a look at the team here. We're going to have a pretty mediocre lead, but actually the opponent going to swap out. Actually, it's a pretty decent lead, because you have a superpower which will do super effective damage. Of course, the opponent would also have Stone Edge, but it's kind of like a neutral lead, because they hit you with Stone Edge with superpower, but you can debuff yourself. It's kind of iffy, but the opponent going to swap out anyway into a Skuntank. You can take some moves here with your Tentacruel, which is really good to see here. This Pokemon is insanely bulky. I have to build my own one as well eventually. I have one build that's like a 100% version, but I kind of want to have one with like good IVs, because I feel like it's very important for this Pokemon. But here we're going to see that the opponent, like the player that just lets this move go through and just goes ahead and farms up extra energy with the Dragonite. And I think this is a smart idea, especially with the next Pokemon coming in here. You can just swap out into your Ampharos. You can just use your one shield against the... you can use your shield here as well, but you can just go ahead and go for a Focus Blast against the incoming Pokemon most likely. But no, you're just gonna go for a Focus Blast against this Mandibuzz. Goodbye there. And we're most likely going to see 2 Focus Blasts land here right now. Nope, we're actually not going to do that, because the opponent going to forfeit anyway. Let's take a look at the next game. We're going to see a Licky in the lead. This is a funny Pokemon. Has access to the move Body Slam as well as Earthquake, as well as Shadow Ball if you want to run that one. Shadow Ball is kind of making this Pokemon unique compared to something like, what's called a Snorlax there. Snorlax doesn't have Shadow Ball, but of course Earthquake and Body Slam. But here we're going to see now the swap into the Cresselia, which you can retaliate with the Ampharos. And the Ampharos going to now go ahead, go for the Brutal Swing, going to be super effective here. And this is going to get the shield from the opponent. Also, there would be another legend team that I could feature later on today. If you want that, leave a like on the video. If we hit 500 likes in the first 6 hours, I'm gonna feature another legend team later on today, which would be definitely also an interesting one here, which is completely different towards this team or the last legend team that I showcased. But yeah, we're going to have here now the shield coming up against the Cresselia. You should be able to go ahead and go for a Dragon Claw now to knock them out. And you have a ton of energy. This can be really important for the Dragonite here, but we will see what's coming in right now. It's going to be the Licky again. This Licky will not appreciate the superpower. This should one-shot that, and it does. As you're going to see the final Pokemon being the Giratina. And you will be able to go ahead and go into your Tentacruel, which of course has the move Blizzard. But I'm not sure if you're gonna get there in time, but I think, yeah, you're definitely gonna get there in time. You can take 2 more charge moves here for sure. This should be a very good matchup for you now. And yes, the Blizzard is coming through. Let's see if this is going to one-shot the opponent. I'm not sure about it. It does not. That's what I expected, actually. But still enough to let the opponent forfeit here, so that's kind of fine. Next opponent, very decent lead for you, I guess. Jellicent lead is, I think, pretty fine for you. This is only a Surf, or a Bubble Beam even. That's weird, okay. Bubble Beam against you is kind of an interesting play, but this was definitely not a Shadow Ball, because they get to the Shadow Ball basically after you get to your Dragon Claw, and this was at the same turn. Here you're going to be able to go for another charge move, and most likely going to get the shield from the opponent. No, they're actually going to let this move go through. This is most likely going to be a Shadow Ball, but you're also going to let this move go through. No, it's going to be just a Bubble Beam again. That's kind of wild. You will be able to now farm them down with the Ampharos, and Ampharos with energy can be really strong here, as you're going to see. I would have also baited here, to be fair. I think it's a smart decision to do, and yeah, they're going to shield this move up, because like, what does the opponent really want to do here? Either you have Zapcan, which you're going to get there as well at the same time, I think, which would have one-shot them, or you have like Thunder Punch or whatever, but now you're going to be able to go for another charge move here, and this Focus Blast gonna get shielded again, which is totally okay for you, as you can still get some damage onto them with your Brutal Swing, and you don't really fear too much of the damage that they do against you on your Tentacruel. You can just farm them down here, most likely, as a Dark Pulse does around like 30% or something like that. Yeah, not even, like Tentacruel is insanely bulky. In comes now Scrafty, and you will be able to reach the superpower in time, which is going to be really important for you, as the foul play is gonna get shielded here, and you can just farm up extra. Great play there, because of course after the superpower both your defense as well as your attack are going to be lowered. Like this, you can easily one-shot them, and now the Mug has literally no play against you. There's no way they get to 2 Dark Pulses here. I wouldn't even knock them out either way. So yeah, Tentacruel honestly MVP so far in my opinion. What a strong Pokemon. Shadow Snorlax in the lead. This is going to be an interesting one here, as you're going to see. I wonder if this is going to be, I'm not going to say anything about this, but here we're going to see the shield coming up, which is going to definitely be a decent play. Are you going to go for the superpower? You're going to go for the superpower straight away here right now, which will force a shield by the opponent. You're going to swap out right now. I wonder if they're going to have a Swampert in the back here right now. I'm curious. Let's see. They're going to have... No, they're going to have a Giratina in the back. Okay. I'm going to have now the Giratina against the Ampharos, which is actually a pretty decent matchup for you. This is still going to be able to do at least some decent damage with Brutal Swing. You're going to let this move go through, because now you kind of have to keep the shield. Oh, you actually still survived it. This is so insanely OP here. Like, you really needed the IVs, I guess, to survive that one, because now you're going to get the shield from the opponent. This is so important. As you're going to see the Dragonclaw approaching you, you can go ahead and go for your own Dragonclaw here right now. Great timing by the moves again. Of course, this player is insanely strong. Like, this player is like so good at the game. As you're going to see the Cresselia coming in right now, you will be able to go ahead and just let this Grass Knot go through. You still survive that and you can keep your move alive. As they have Grass Knot, there's no way that they're really a future side here in my opinion. So let's take a look at this one. We're going to see the Grass Knot coming through. It doesn't do enough damage really to threaten you. You should go for the Scald here. You need 2 moves anyway. A Blizzard won't have one-shot the opponent either way, but the Scald will be 2-shotting them. So that's definitely the play to go for. Grass Knot coming in again, and we're gonna see the Snorlax coming in again as well. As you will be able to go for another charge move, and I think you're fine right now. I think you should be able to just go ahead and go for some extra damage here, and there should be a Dragonclaw range, and you're actually going to swap into the charge move. I guess, like, that does make quite some sense, and it's actually a CMP tie that's so insane. Like, the moves that this like player goes for is like really wild. Really great plays here so far. Let's take a look here. Okay, they're climbing the set already. 5-0 here, that's kind of why we're going to see the Wobbuffet here, and of course the rating goes high, but this is not the Legend set yet. You're gonna go to the Legend set right now, I guess. Let's take a look at the Deoxys defense here, which is going to have some lag issues as well. I guess that is like something that a lot of people have right now, me included. But we're gonna get out the Giratina, which is actually fine for you, and you might want to stay in here just now. But you're actually gonna swap into your Ampharos, okay. It's a Dragon Breath variant. Okay, that does make more sense now, because Dragon Breath would be super effective against your Dragonite. Staying in there does not make too much sense there anymore. But like this, you're going to be able to at least hit those Brutal Swings way faster than the opponent gets to their moves, but you're still going to... It's going to be still an awkward scenario. I think you have to farm down with your Dragonite right now, because your Tentacruel cannot do enough damage against them, and you still should be able to farm down before they can get to a charge move. In comes now... what is this? Oh, I think it's a Gustlord, right? Is it? Let's see. It is a Gustlord, and you will be able to go into a Tentacruel. And now we're going to see again the Blizzard coming in clutch, most likely. This is going to be a wild one. Let's see. Brutal Swing coming through. Gonna get the... Oh, we're gonna get the Deoxys out first. That's going to be a difficult one for you to win still. You have to... I don't know, actually. You have to shield up the move here, for sure. Like, this is going to be the Psycho Boost. And you have to overfarm like quite a bit here right now. You should be able to survive it now. The opponent is triple debuffed. It's going to, yeah, you're going to be able to survive it. You have to go to 100 energy here, to be fair. You should be able to knock them out. This is going to be such a close game. Can you reach the Blizzard in time, though? Or do you have to catch here? You're not going to catch. You're going to be able to reach the Blizzard in time. Is this enough to knock out the Gustlord, though? It is enough, and the Tentacruel, honestly, is just the MVP of this team so far. This Pokemon is just insane. We're going to have a very decent lead for you. Virizion should be fine. We see a Registeel coming in. This is amazing for you, as you can go ahead and go for the superpower and force a shield. I think you might want to swap out into your Ampharos now, and you are not, no, okay, you're going to swap into the Ampharos, but on the charge move, is this a Zap Cannon? What a play again. This player literally plays everything perfect. It is wild. You're most likely going to have to shield up here, but it's going to be okay, because even if you can't align your Pokemon, the rest that you have on the team going to be super fine against the Virizion here, because even the Tentacruel going to be totally okay here. Great undercharge again, great frame drops again, but we're going to see now the Focus Blast coming through, as this is going to do some pretty decent damage already, but of course it's not going to be the most threatening Pokemon anyway. As the Brutal Swing coming through, the opponent definitely doesn't have to shield this move up, as they're going to let this move go through here, and we're going to see even more frame drops coming in. Amazing gameplay so far. Honestly, the game is currently not really in the best state, but we're going to see here the opponent going for a charge move against you. It's going to be a Stone Edge. What a play to go into the Tentacruel instead, as we're going to approach here like with the Magnezone. That's going to be wild. You're going to let the move go through. It's going to be a wild charge, and you just have to hope that you can farm down with your Dragonite at this point of time. And you see how much damage you actually can do here, but I feel like this might be, you have to go for the bait. That is such a great call, and this was such an important call. Going for the Mirror Shot bait was the only way for you to win this game there, that you call that bait here, as you're going to be able to farm them down, and that was honestly, in my opinion, the best game so far. Holy hell, like honestly, the skill gap is so insane. Like, if you see myself playing, I wouldn't be as good as this player for sure. Like, they definitely pull off some stuff that I wouldn't be able to right now. I'm a little bit washed, I guess, for PvP right now. But here we're going to see now the Snorlax coming in. You will be able to get a shield from the opponent most likely as well. Never mind, they're going to just go ahead and let this move go through, which they still barely survive. But you will be able to go into your Tentacruel right now to farm them down. Deoxys, again, can be a little bit tricky. You could actually argue for going for one shield here, but no, actually no. You should just let the move go through here, no matter what is coming in. You should just let it go through. Sack your Tentacruel, as you're going to even get the debuff already. This should not knock you out as well. Honestly, Tentacruel's bulk is insane. How? Like, how is it so strong? You will see the Scald coming through here right now from you. Hopefully you're gonna get another debuff here. I think it's a 50% chance, or like a 30. I think it's a 30% chance. But you will be able to now go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw against the opponent. The opponent is forced to shield here. Like, they have 2 shields left, they don't really have a lot of health left. And they're gonna go ahead and go for the Power Punch bait. This is kinda sad. I think that's the first time that you got baited so far. Usually you just bait the opponents. But like this, you're going to be able to get the final shot of the opponent, and you're going to be able to swap into the charge move here right now, which is going to be fine for you, as it's a foul play. It does a ton of damage, but you can go for the Brutal Swing, but the opponent going to swap out, and you call that. And now you have 2 Brutal Swings stored, and this is, again, an amazing play by this player. It is insane how, like, honestly, I'm so lucky that I can showcase this gameplay here right now, because definitely I wouldn't have been able to play this team as well as they do. Let's see here, we're going to have a Virizion against us, as we also get a Regirock in here. You catch the move onto the Tentacruel, which will be able to take 2 Stone Edges for sure. They usually run the move, what's called Focus Burst otherwise, which is going to now, also of course, not really bring any value for the opponent here, but you can just go ahead and go for the Scald. Don't think Scald does enough damage though, because Regirock is insanely bulky as well, and as you can see here, it does not do enough damage, but you should be able to just shield and farm them down here, I feel like. And you're not going to do that. You're going to let this move go through, and you're gonna go ahead and go back into your Dragonite, I would guess. No, you're actually gonna go into your Ampharos, try to get some extra energy. Okay, let's take a look at this. We're gonna see the Virizion coming in, so that's why I was like a little bit confused here right now. You know that the opponent has a Virizion anyway. I'm not sure, like, I don't know, maybe it's a decent play. We're going to see a Sandslash in the back. Maybe they knew the team as well already. Like, that can be also always the case. But here we're going to see the Ice Punch coming through. You have to kind of go for the bait. Oh, actually gonna not go for the bait. You're just gonna go straight Superpower here right now, as this is going to get shielded. It's going to be a tough one to still win, I feel like. But honestly, maybe not actually. Because if you go ahead and you get to the next Superpower in time, which you do before the opponent even can go for that charge move, this was a mistake by the opponent. They should have thrown earlier. Now you have basically a shield still left, and you have a Focus Blast stored here. And we know already from the matchups earlier, Focus Blast should be enough to knock out the opponent at this range. This is going to be so insane. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to see the boom, and this Virizion is gonna go down. They sent in the same game twice here, that's why I have to do a small cut real quick. We're going to have a Deoxys defense in the lead again. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to see the Dragon Claws coming through as well, most likely soon, but we're going to see the shield coming up here against the incoming Rock Slide. Rockstar definitely would do a ton of damage, but you're also going to do a ton of damage with your fast move already. As the Dragon Claws coming through here right now, this is going to do a ton of damage as well. You can force a shield from the opponent right now, and you should be able to farm down after this one if you're going to go for a shield, but the opponent doesn't go for a shield. In comes another Registeel. That's going to be an interesting one, as you can go ahead and go for the bait first. I guess it's kind of clear that the opponent most likely going to shield here, as there are still 2 shields left. And you're going to catch the move again? No, you're not going to catch the move. That should be a Focus Blast only. But yeah, this time around it's going to be a Focus Blast. It's going to do a little bit more damage. And we see the XL Dub Bull in the back from the opponent. What an XL heavy team. Actually showcased this team before from the opponent as well, I think. Very decent team as well. But here we're going to now see the Body Slam going to do a ton of damage against you. You can go into your Tentacruel, which is definitely the best matchup for the Tentacruel. And I think you're fine actually. I think you should be able to pretty easily win this game here right now, because you're going to be able to win this matchup against the Dub Bull. You still have some energy on your Dragonite. The opponent still has to go for some charge moves with the Registeel against your Tentacruel here right now. So I feel like you're going to stay in here, which I feel like is the right call, because the opponent is forced to go for a Zap Cannon against you. They cannot lock on you down from that range. You can still try to get the debuffs onto the attack, and you're just going to get them lower anyways. You're going to let this move go through right now. You will be able to reach 2 charge moves against the opponent here for sure. 2 superpowers is the way to go. Just build up to 2 of them. The opponent goes for 1 Zap Cannon here for sure, as it's going to try to debuff you, but it doesn't matter. Even if it debuffs, you're going to be able to just one-shot them with the superpower at this range. So that's going to be a very good game here. They're going to let this move go through. The only play was here to call a Dragon Claw bait, which didn't make sense. And this is going to be another 5-0 here, but this was a set before the one that you just saw. So we're going to now go into the final game that brought this player to Legend here. We're going to have the Swampert, which is going to be now swapping out here into the Registeel, where you can go ahead and go for the superpower, and you can now swap after the superpower directly into your Ampharos, which is going to have a great time here. But actually, you were a little bit too late. You see the opponent go straight for the Zap Cannon, but now you're going to swap out into the Ampharos. It's still going to be okay for you, because the opponent still has to go for 2 Focus Blasts in order to knock you out. So this should be totally fine. Focus Blast coming through here, first not going to knock you out, and you can go for the Focus Blast, forcing the opponent to shield and even get some extra energy afterwards. You're going to undercharge it, which doesn't really matter too much here, but you can try to go for another Focus Blast, but the opponent is throwing their charge move with their Swampert. But sadly, because the opponent was able to go for another charge move, your Switch Clock is going to be now unaligned, and this is going to be a very difficult one if they have something good against you in the back. But thankfully the Switch Clock is already up, and this was a fast battle to get to the Legend rank. This was a 4-1, I guess, which is definitely enough from the rating that you had before to hit Legend right now, which is really cool to see. So, thanks for letting me showcase your battles to Legend. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.